Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have a question for you. What do you think these words mean? Allahu Akbar. I'll give you some time to think. You probably said something along the lines of God is greatest. Now, although that's a right answer, that's technically not the correct meaning. Allahu Akbar literally translates to God is greater, not God is greatest. You see, in the Arabic language, if I would want to say that Allah is the greatest, I would say Allahul Akbar. God is the greatest. And obviously by saying God is greater, we're indicating that God is the greatest because he's greater than everything else. But why am I telling you guys this? Why am I giving you this free Arabic lesson just to explain what the actual meaning of Allahu Akbar is? Well, the reason for that is actually very simple. You see, one of the pillars of Salah, the thing that actually makes you enter Salah, is something called Takbiratul Ihram. It's when you raise your hand and you say Allahu Akbar. But many of us, when we say this, we actually say it as a lie to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're saying Allahu Akbar, but Allah is not the greatest thing in our mind. The dunya is. During our salah, we're thinking about work, we're thinking about school, we're thinking about money, we're thinking about food. Allah is not our main priority. And that's why it's very important for you, before you start your salah, take a couple of seconds before you do Takbiratul Ihram to think, what is the greatest thing on my mind right now? Who am I about to stand in front of? Who am I about to have a conversation with? Who is the greatest, most wise, the all-knowing, all-powerful? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you bring those meanings with you before you start your salah, you're going to feel a lot more khushu'. And you're going to feel like for the first time you actually feel what Allahu Akbar means. You're not just saying it. And subhanAllah, even when you think about it, during our salah, we repeat this phrase, Allahu Akbar, so many times. And the reason for that is because Allahu Akbar is kind of a reminder for us in salah. When we start, we remind ourselves that Allah is the greatest thing. And many of us, when we start the prayer, we get distracted. So when you go into ruku', you remind yourself again, Allahu Akbar, God is greater. Then when you get up, you say Sami Allahu liman hamida, you go down for sujood, Allahu Akbar, you remind yourself again. And that's because the heart is weak. We're very easily distracted, and the shaitan especially comes to us during salah to make us feel distracted. Shaitan knows the power of salah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. That salah forbids you from doing evil actions, things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hates. So salah has a huge effect. And if shaitan is able to distract you during salah and get you to not get that reward, then he has succeeded and done his job. And let me remind you once more, I feel like I've talked about this a lot on my channel. Salah is the most important thing that you can do in your day, period. Full stop. There's nothing greater. And this is why you should fight yourself during salah. Fight the temptation to not focus. Fight the temptation of the shaitan. Understand that with salah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can change your whole life. All the problems, the stresses of life that you're facing can be fixed through salah. Just make a simple, sincere dua in your sujood and watch your life change. And again, this all links back to the idea of Allahu Akbar. Who's the greatest person, the best person who can fulfill your needs? That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when you don't remind yourself of what Allahu Akbar actually means, you start to get attached to the people who might give you the things that you want in the dunya. If you want rizq from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you want money, you want a higher salary, you might be connected to your boss raising your salary instead of connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who's the one who provides your boss and will provide you, inshallah. And that's it for this video, inshallah. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and share this video to someone you think would benefit from this reminder. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.